What's up, guys? Alright, so yesterday I did the stress relief video with you. So today I'm going to do a little bit more on stability, and this is going to be more of a powerful. But that being said, every type of yoga is a stress relief yoga, so maybe if you're having a really bad day and you need something that's a little faster, this is going to be great for you. I'm going to, again, try and not talk a ton during it, so that you can try to get into the flow. In the next video I send you, it's going to be an alignment video, and that's where we're going to cover all of the intricacies of each posture and how that should look. So you can look at that as you're going through your postures. But as in every yoga practice, we do start in a place of stillness. So if you'll come to your mat and pick a comfortable seat, and it can be any seat, you can sit Siddhasana, feet in front of one another, cross-legged. You can even sit up on your knees if that's comfortable for you. Just come to a place of stillness, and we'll regulate our breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, out. Take a moment to just relax and let your breathing come in and out naturally. Don't measure it or time it, just sit with it. Begin to deepen the breath. In, raise your right arm up and lean to the left, stretching the outside of the right body. Feel space between your ribs and your hip. Feel space in your neck. And exhale. Inhale, take your left arm up and over, making sure to spiral the chest upward. And feel that lift. Feel your arm pulling up out of this rib cage here. Feel an elongated stretch between the ribs and the hip, the pelvis. If you experience any tightness in your lower back, come up some. But test the edge a little bit. See how deep you can. Lean. And exhale, come back. Bring both arms up. And down. Up and down. All right, we're moving into our hands and knees. Some like cat-cow. Open the throat, send that tailbone wagging up towards the sky. Wiggle around with this. You need to move your hips to the right, to the left, make figure eights with those hips, that's great. Start to get loosened up here. This is your time. No one's here to correct this or judge you. It's just you. Cat, cow, feet are pressing down into the earth. To test that out, go ahead and come to your toes, curling them under, and lift the knees. Stay here for 3 breaths. And you should be about an inch off the ground, not collapsing, but pushing up and out. One more breath. Beautiful. Come back. Put your head on the earth, child's pose. My favorite pose, grabs the heels. We come up to rabbit, roll into the crown of our head. Stretch out through the arms. Come back down. Place the palms. And once again, we lift the heels. We're in table position. Now move the head back towards the knees as you begin to straighten the legs into a downward facing dog. Adjust your dog as you need. Test it out. See if you are in a correct plank. Walk the dog out. One more breath here. And exhale, come forward. Inhale, hop, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Rising up, we inhale into Utkatasana, chair pose or awkward pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. We'll go over this in our basics, but the chaturanga is a push-up, and we come down. Our elbows are out next to us, not splayed out in a wide angle form, but right next to our ribs. We rise up into upward facing dog. We flip the toes down. We're on the tops of our feet. Our chest moves up and forward. And inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, inhale. Right leg comes forward, back leg turns, and we're in warrior one. Exhale, hands frame the foot. Inhale, back chaturanga. Exhale, down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Chest goes up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes forward, right foot flat on the ground. We're in warrior one on the left side. Hips are squared to the front. Exhale, coming down. Back to chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. We breathe here for 5 breaths. When you're ready, roll on forward to one more chaturanga. This time really take your time as you go down. Bending those elbows straight back like grasshopper legs. Flip the toes, lift the chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, down dog. Walk the hands back to meet the feet. Uttanasana, forward fold. All right, getting heated up some. Inhale, all the way up, chair pose. There's many different ways to do a chair. Some think that you should not have your knees over your ankles. I don't think it matters either way, as long as you feel safe and your knees feel safe. Just get a bend, and in this today, we're going to be pressing out. Lift your toes. Press out as if you're trying to rip the mat apart. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, come forward and back as we step into a plank. Right leg comes up. 3-legged dog. Exhale. We come into a warrior two. sure the body is square. The left leg is taking as much weight as the right leg. We're pushing up out of both, growing up through the center. Our pelvis is having an anterior tilt, our tailbone tucked under. Beautiful. And we bring our right hand forward, then up and back into a peaceful warrior. And exhale, back to center. Inhale, right leg, right arm comes to right leg, left arm comes up. Side angle. Exhale, bring your arms to the ground, step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here and exhale, left leg comes up. Three-legged dog and steps all the way forward. We are in warrior two on the left side. Nice. Just check it out here. Feel how things feel. Are you shaking? Is it boring? Are you confused? It's all fine. Inhale forward, up and back. Peaceful warrior. Making sure that left knee is not going over the left toes. Come back to center. Inhale. Side angle. Side angle. Exhale. Come back. Downward facing dog. Exhale all the way forward. And one more chaturanga. Elbows come back. Stop. And inhale. Up. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Down dog. Inhale. Right leg comes up. Three-legged dog. This time, instead of keeping the hips square, go ahead and reach out, stacking the hips. Try and keep pressure, the same pressure in both right and left hands. Then, coming up onto our left toes, we come all the way forward into a plank with our right leg out to the side. Still lifted, back to three-legged dog. Step that three-legged dog all the way forward, knee to nose. Exhale all the way up. Inhale, right knee comes to left elbow. Exhale. That comes down, and we stand in our down dog for one breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, left leg comes up. And again, we stack the hips. So three-legged dog, get wild. Feel how that opens you up in your hip. Also, feel your shoulders. Make sure that they're not collapsing. If you need to come out of it some, that's fine. And coming all the way forward. That's left knee to left elbow. Inhale, all the way up. Nose comes to knee. Exhale. Inhale. Left knee to right elbow. All the way up. And the leg comes down. Bring your knees to the mat. Sit back into child's pose. Take a moment here to breathe. You did awesome. That is fantastic. It's not easy to ask your body to do things it might not be used to doing. Maybe at a pace you're not used to doing it in. But what's important is that you always have the opportunity to try. Even if you don't feel like you're doing it correctly this time, maybe you do it a different time and you understand it better and it feels more natural. When you're ready, bring your hands in front of you, come to tabletop position, curl the toes under, and lift the knees. Remember, our nose heads back towards our knees as they straighten and we get a down dog. You don't need to have straight legs, you can have heels up, knees bent, that's fine. If you'd like to place the heels down, you can. On an inhale, bring that right leg up. Exhale, bring it all the way forward into a high lunge. In a high lunge, bring your hands to heart center in prayer position. Place your hands on the earth and do a jump switch. Jump switch is when you pull your right leg back, left leg forward. And rise up. Hands to heart center. One more breath here. All right. Bringing your hands to the earth, we will step that right foot back up towards the front, not all the way, and straighten the left leg. Bending our nose to our knee, we stretch out the calves. Pyramid posture. From here, bring all the weight into the left leg and begin to lift up the right leg. Standing splits. Lift the toes of the left leg or left foot to see how far you can take yourself down. If you'd like to come up to Warrior 3, bend the left leg and begin to rise. All right, awesome job. Bring that right foot down behind you. Warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, triangle posture. Look to the sky. The left leg is straight, the right leg is straight. Feel activation in both legs. Bend the left knee, bring your hands to the earth, and switch. All right, bringing that left foot closer, we straighten the right leg, we move our nose towards the right knee in period posture, making sure the hips are square. Bring your nose to your knee. When you're ready, start to move the weight into your right foot as you lift your left foot up. Standing splits. Get ready to move that leg down slightly, and maybe you lift your arms up off the ground, and you're a little shaky like me, and that's fine, because it's fun to just try things out. And bring that left leg down, Warrior 2. Straighten that right leg and hinge at the hips as you come down into a triangle posture, looking up towards, I'm tight in that spot, towards the left thumb. I couldn't even remember what hand that was. When you're ready, cartwheel the hands down. And we come to a downward facing dog. And then to our knees. And to our back. We're in thunderbolt position. Take some breaths here. Come to child's pose if you'd like. Feel your body relaxing, sinking down into the mat. Just feel what feels things right now. Like me right now. Something just happened in my back when I'm doing triangle, which means something needs a little air sent to it. You breathe into it It's not painful. It's just a tightness. Just notice the things in your body. Notice tightness, or maybe just holding where you yourself are physically clenching the muscle. Relax it. What body part are you disappointed in right now? That always happens to me. I'm always like, I wish my butt was stronger, my thighs were stronger, my calves were stronger. Send a little love there. It's okay. We're getting there. It was my lungs were stronger. When you're ready, come up onto your knees and prepare for a back bend. Mostly because I need it. So, this posture is called camel posture, and I've seen people, on the magazine covers and they're bent all the way back, and it doesn't need to be as dramatic as that, because your back just might not go in those positions. And I've been learning a lot about that hypermobility in certain bodies. Doesn't mean they're better than another body, so please don't push yourself in this. If you feel like your body's saying no, go with it. Your body knows. But if you'd like to experiment with this, feel free to play your edge a little by rooting down through your thighs and your knees. And your feet are firm. Your hips kind of shift forward as your chest lifts up. That's what's going to cause the bending in the back, not just forcing back and trying to fold yourself over. It's more of a lifting up and then doming over. You want to bring your right hand to the calf or the heel. You can begin to work your way forward, making sure you're pushing the hips forward and lifting the chest up. You'd like to drop the head? Do so. Breathe into the lower back body. Lift through the chest, lift through the legs. Everything's active here. You're not just bent over and broken. Even if you feel like you look broken, you're fine. Well, if you are broken, please stop. All right, coming back to the center. Breathe in and exhale. Take a moment here just to feel what that did to your body. Maybe sit back on your heels. Maybe even take a child's pose. Child's pose is a counter pose to a back bend, because you'll see as my back domes, it's doing the opposite of what I just asked it to do. It's always good to remember that if you're in a position that's asking your body to go in a direction it's not used to going in, it's not weak or wrong to get into the counter pose as you feel that body part straining, so that you can kind of give it a moment to relax. All right, coming up, swing your feet to the left and come to Dandasana, or staff pose. Sitting up straight here. If you need to sit on something to lift the hips so you can get that rotation of the pelvis forward so that you're not curled over like this, go ahead and grab a blanket or a pillow. Inhale. Send air all the way through the body, all the way down. Watch your belly fill up. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, pull the chest forward and begin to hinge at the hips. Exhale, leaning forward. Inhale. Exhale, leaning forward. Inhale. Exhale. Again, this is going to look however it's going to look on your body. Your hands might be here, up here. Just feel that stretch in the back of the legs and also in the back body. Whenever you're ready, come back up and bring the right foot into the inner thigh. Look at your left toes. and have them look back at you. So by that I mean they're pointing at you. Sit up straight and reach for them. Try and keep your body straight over your left leg. And again, try and lead from the heart. You're leading forward, stretching and elongating the spine. And when you're ready, you can dome the back. Making sure to keep those toes flexed. When you're ready, come back up. And let the right leg go, and bring the left leg in. And do the same. Go wherever it feels like you're working, but not working too hard, like you're not straining something. Making sure your toes are flexed is going to help protect the knee. Also, keeping a slight bend in the knee is totally fine. We're just working on what your body wants to do right now. What I love about yoga is postures are not the end goal, it's the feeling and the process of them. And I feel like we miss out on that a lot. And that's why your home practice is so important, because you can do this at home and you can be up here and just working like that and start working down. And that's fine, because nobody is there to judge you and no one there to compare yourself with. I mean, other than me right now, but I'm not really there. I mean, I'm there and I love you and I think you're doing awesome. But yeah, play around with that. Play with your edge. And when you're ready, come back up. Alright, letting the feet come in front of you. Let's roll back onto our backs. Keeping your feet up off the ground and your knees over your hip points. Begin to rock back and forth, my favorite. Loosen things up a bit. Something, since we're working on strength and stability, something that you can do if you're not feeling like doing a weight bearing practice, and by weight bearing I mean like standing on your feet and doing some of these postures that are asking you to balance or figure out how to align your body correctly so that you don't hurt yourself while you're doing chaturangas, or even with being in warrior poses or balancing postures such as standing splits. The locust position, which is on your belly, so if you want to move to your belly, is a great way to work out your glutes without having to do anything weight bearing, and that protects the knees. So by lifting your feet up off the ground, feeling the pressure in your pelvic bone, you can begin to make figure eights with your toes pointed. And this is going to work your butt out. You can keep your head on the ground, like so. Start to feel that. When you'll feel it, you can kind of maybe lift your legs a little higher if you'd like. Doesn't matter if your figure eights are actually figure eights. They can also just be scribbly lines on a page. That's fine. Because mine aren't. I'm not coordinated enough to do a figure eight. You can do this. You can also lift your head and chest and arms. When you're ready to come down, come down. Lay on one side of the face and rest. One more round. Sink into the earth. If it kind of hurts, you're doing it right, and you might want to put a blanket under you. That's totally acceptable. Some people put their hands under them. I think that hurts my hands, so I don't do that. You can lift your head, lift your shoulders, lift your arms. Also, keep your head down if you don't want to do that. Keep your arms down if you don't want to do that. You're still working the butts and the quads and the hamstrings if you're just raising your legs. Relax. Move to the right side of your face. Let it all go. Just be a smush on the ground. When you're ready, make your way to your back by rolling over. Lift the knees and the feet, grabbing the soles of your feet. Happy baby, rock back and forth. Make sure that the tailbone is pointed towards the front of the mat. Your toes are flexed towards your face. Your feet are pressing up as if they're trying to stand on the ceiling, while your arms are pulling down. Your shoulders should be flat on the earth, so they're not getting pulled up. They're staying flat. You shouldn't have to put a lot of pressure into anything right now. Everything is kind of working with just a slight amount of tension, just a slight energetic pull towards the front, up and down. Inhale once more. Exhale, let it go. Let the legs come all the way down and windshield wiper the feet. Take a couple breaths here. This is not our Shavasana. We're close though. Breathe in, out. All right. Bringing the knees up. Use the momentum of the weight to swing up or roll to your left side and come up to a seated position. Rocking back on your bum, we lift our shins parallel to the earth. For this, today we're going to bring our hands to our heart. And since we're building heat and strength, let's go ahead and try and see if you can move your body twisting to the left while your right leg reaches out. Do the same to the other side. Just 5 of these. I think that's 5. And let it all go. Rolling back. We sink down, putting the soles of our feet together. Rocking the pelvis. First making a little tunnel for our hands to go under, then smushing our hands with our low back. This is so healthy for the pelvis and all of the hips and everything connected to it. So it's doing a rocking motion where you're making space for the hands underneath the low back and then rolling your hips up to squish your hands with the low back. 2 more of those. Sit in stillness. When you're ready, bring your feet all the way down. Make sure you're centered on your mat. Wiggle your feet back and forth. Shake out. arms. If you need anything else in your practice right now, you want to do a spinal twist, that's great. You want to do a couple bridges, that's awesome. Do a shoulder stand, do that. Whatever it is your body needs right now, go for it. If not, we'll meet together in Shavasana. I'll always say it, that Shavasana is the posture where you really test whether or not you're doing yoga or if you're doing a workout. Because yoga is not supposed to be taking us away from reality. It's supposed to be bringing us back into it. So in Shavasana, you test that because your mind starts going and it starts to think about all the things you have to do as soon as you get up. You think about, dang it, like, did I just waste this time doing this? It's when all that comes into question and we start to feel tension come back into our shoulders. So let's try to take the intention through which we're building strength with today and have that translate into the rest of your day outside of yoga. That's what I do. And this posture helps me do that because my body is reacting to all of the postures I've put it into and through. And now I'm taking this moment to integrate that and remember what that felt like to be working really hard throughout this practice and be able to take that into my day, into the other things that I do. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm getting like zen'd out. So I'll be quiet and let you go into as long of a Shavasana as you'd like, but 10 minutes is a really good amount of time. So we'll settle for like 3, but I'll put a 10-minute space at the end and you can do that. When you're ready, start to bring life back into your fingers and toes. Rock your feet back and forth. Be kind with yourself as you roll to the right side of your body and just stay there for a moment. Your heart lives on the left of your body, so as we roll to the right, we don't compress the heart, we give it space to beat and regulate itself. Coming up to a seat. Take a moment. Hope you feel really strong. And I am super stoked that I get to share this with you, something that makes me feel really strong and excited about life. So thank you for being a part of this practice with me, and namaste.